And we're back with 4 quarters of Believin. Could it be a tougher time of the season to have 4 quarters worth of Believin? Let's air some grievances to start here. Drew, we'll let you start. There's been so much focus on blaming all of the coaches. Enough to go around with the players, too. I'll say the coaches and the front office here. But Drew, a minute on the clock. I will limit you to that. But who are you blaming?
Yeah, I'll let Eric tee off on the players. There's one player in particular I'd like to talk about, but I'm going to lead off with our version of the natural disasters here: Paul D. Podesta and Bubba Ventrone. Paul D. Podesta, it was so nice of you to leave your home office in San Diego to attend a game finally. How about him? He made it all the way out to New Jersey to watch his 100th loss as the chief strategy officer of the Cleveland Browns. Simply phenomenal. And then the other number that I'm going to bring up is 255. And that is not the number of points Eric got for comparing Dillon Gabriel to Ric Flair last week, in case you were wondering. No, that is the record that up until yesterday, teams had when they held their opponent to under 175 yards of total offense and did not turn the ball over. Thanks to Bubba Ventrone, that is now 255 and one. So I don't know what to say with this team. The boos are going to be relentless, I think, and deservedly so. And I think the vast majority of those boos should be directed at the front office and the coaching staff of the Cleveland Browns. I think the players are trying as hard as they can. They're just not well equipped to compete.
Eric, who are you blaming?
Yeah, it's hard to fire 53 players, right? The coaches are the low-hanging fruit. Kevin Stefanski's been here for 6 years. We've had 3 playoff games. He didn't coach in the lone victory. He's not really developing a quarterback. The last half of 2020 was the only progression I saw of a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns in the last 6 years. Granted, he has not had a lot of stalwarts outside of that player, so it's kind of hard. Nonetheless, none are getting better. Did the Browns have bad players? Yes. Dillon Gabriel did not play well once again. He had several throws that had me sad. Sad, laughing, disappointed. A lot of negative emotions. However, they cannot have, they don't have a viable option outside of Quinshawn Judkins. And they've been rather inconsistent in that area. Good coaching can still lead to victories despite not having the best players on the field. Unfortunately, that team out east has not always had the most talented players, and they have found ways to win over half their games every single year for the last 15 years. I'm not saying our roster's as good as theirs were in the past, but you should still be able to steal wins the way Eric Mangini did with Peyton Hillis with special teams. Reggie
I take him
Hodges
back
made
in a
punts.
second. Josh Cribbs. Oh, man.
Josh Cribbs. That's a low.
He does not get a point for bringing up my guy, Eric Mangini.
Eric Mangini.
This whole thing is under
if they
protest.
can at least do, some type of stealing wins like that, that's all we have to do. But we can't even get to that. So it's the coach's fault. They are not doing their jobs, and the players are trying. They're just not good enough right now.
Those 3 points for Peyton Hillis. So we'll mark that in the scorecard there. Let's go on to that team out east, if that's who you're referencing here, the Baltimore Ravens. Eric, was there anything that you saw this past Sunday that makes you think, or anything in the past that makes you think that these Browns can beat the Ravens?
I will try my best. The Browns are not turning the ball over while the Ravens are. The Browns are needing to keep as many possessions as possible and cannot give away free points. So, they kind of have to keep the other offenses off the field, especially when they are one of the best ones in the league. So the Browns once again did not turn it over. The Ravens had a lost fumble last game. The Ravens are also coming off a week where they sacked pretty much a rookie quarterback in J.J. McCarthy one time. And the Browns are showing a better statistic in that category where Myles Garrett can get 5 sacks by himself. So, we have some slight advantages if we want to be positive. Hopefully the Brown signal caller, whoever it is, I'm guessing it's going to be Dillon Gabriel, at least start the game, can have a clean pocket and make throws, gives us a chance because he could get sacked at like 4th and 1 scenarios. The other one is this is the Ravens' third game in a row on the road. Maybe they have some fatigue from being on the road. Maybe they are homesick. I don't know, but maybe they're just missed their homes. It's a 4:25 start in the Eastern time zone. That's kind of rare, so maybe that'll throw them off. I don't know, but maybe the visiting squad's not ready for that.
No
And
points. No points for the time of the start here. Drew, who do you have? Or why think the Browns have a chance at winning this Sunday?
Yeah, like for the record, I think the Ravens probably win this game. But why do I think that the Browns, have a pretty good have a chance to win this game? Because the Ravens aren't all that good, guys. The Ravens are not all that good. You know, Lamar Jackson needed 30 attempts to throw for 176 yards against the Vikings. Derrick Henry had 20 carries for 76 yards. That's less than 4 yards per carry. The Ravens needed 2 INTs and a fumbled kickoff return to finally put away the Vikings. Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason combined for 13 carries for 72 yards. They averaged over 5.5 yards per carry. The Ravens secondary is fairly banged up. I don't know if Marlon Humphrey's going to play in this, but he didn't play a whole lot in the previous game. And Jalen Naylor had 5 receptions for 124 yards and a touchdown. I understand that they rotated the coverage to the other guy, that, the Browns don't have anybody quite like that. But this Ravens team isn't all that great. They're not your older brother's Ravens team. That's why they've lost 5 games this season, and they are not untouchable. So, like, if the Browns play their best game, can I squint and see a way that they win? Yes.
Stats without wrestling references only goes so far, Drew. Let's go into halftime, third quarter. What changed with the Ravens? Drew, we're going to go back to you, but the Ravens were not looking good. Of course, we'll take off the board. Lamar Jackson is back with the team, but what else do you see with the Ravens of why they've had this resurgence?
You're talking about why they're now favorites to win the AFC North, I presume. What changed is the luck finally ran out on the most overrated team in professional sports. 6 turnovers to beat the Patriots by 1 possession, 6 turnovers to beat the Colts by 1 possession, a loss to Joe Flacco on national television, and they got boat raced by Jim Harbaugh, of all people, on national television again. The Ravens are not suddenly great. The Ravens, yes, it helps to have Lamar Jackson back. That's certainly, we'll take that off the board. Okay, I was going to lead off with that. But the Ravens are at least who we thought they were now. And the Steelers, the reason they weren't the favorites here, they are who everybody thought they were, and they are showing you exactly what that team is, which is a maybe an above average defense and a very below average offense, and they somehow, some way got off to a really hot start, and now they have fallen back to earth these last 4 games. That is why the Ravens have caught up with the team. It's not that the Ravens are doing anything better; it's that the rest of the division is just worse.
Eric, what's changed?
Yeah, I got 2 things for you. One is they're returning back to health. Lamar Jackson missed 3 games. Isaiah Likely missed 3 games. Ronnie Stanley missed a game, offensive tackle. Defensively, Nnamdi Madubuike missed 7 games at D-line. Roquan Smith missed 2 games. Kyle Hamilton missed a game. Marlon Humphrey missed a game. So you will put all of that together. You got 7 of their best players have at least missed a game, if not multiple games. The other thing is they played the Bills, Lions, Chiefs, and Rams in 4 of their first 6 games. All of them are expected to make the playoffs or at least have a playoff run. They will finish with the Dolphins, the Browns this week, the Jets, Cincinnati twice with somebody named Joe, I don't know which Joe, under center, and a team that is black and yellow twice. Those are all very winnable games. I know there will be losses sprinkled in, but the team health and the lack of tough opponents to end the season kind of gives them hope, unfortunately. So there is an overrated team that they're still looking up at, but I think the health and the fact that they're not playing some of these juggernauts will help them the rest of the way.
You had it in motion. You said, I've got two things for you. I don't
Oh,
know if that was a
no.
wrestling reference, so I cannot award points on that. Let's go into the fourth quarter. Believe or bail. We'll give Eric the first shot at this. Is DG making it, and not Darius Garland, but is Dillon Gabriel making it past the first half?
Well, I think he should be benched for Shedeur Sanders. I'll start off with that. You see once again, nothing is improving. He cannot make plays. He is overthrowing guys on 5-yard routes. I'm tired of the short passes. I'm tired of the can of corn throws that, fortunately, Jerry Jeudy was able to come down with for a touchdown. Having said that, he does take care of the football, and it appears that Kevin Stefanski and Tommy Rees have faith that he can operate this offense. I don't know how they believe that, but that's how they believe. Therefore, instead of opening up the offense and giving Shedeur Sanders an opportunity to throw the ball down the field, I think they're going to be focusing on maintaining possession, winning the turnover battle, and, killing the clock. And that's what Dillon Gabriel brings. I think he's definitely going to be playing at least the second half of this game. Who knows if it's going to be beyond this game, but he's definitely playing the second half of this game.
What an exciting formula. Drew, past the first half?
I'm going to hit you with something you don't expect. I actually want to believe this one. Now, the schedule setup, it was very obvious to make the switch to Shedeur Sanders during the bye week so he could get his first game on the road against the Jets. That was the most obvious thing in the world to do. They would have won the game, and now they'd be coming into the Ravens game with a little bit of momentum. And the fact that we didn't do that is just mind-boggling. But I actually hope that Dillon Gabriel does sort of start and finish this whole game. I expect this to be his last game, but I want the Boo Birds to rain down and make it known that this is unacceptable, that we are over this little experiment that they have sort of trotted out there. So, while I wouldn't have played Dillon Gabriel, I suspect that they will. And I would like to call Al Snow to have Kevin's head examined to see why they are still out there with this quarterback that nobody ever wanted. Bring in Shedeur Sanders, please.
Like a Mendoza touchdown at the last second. Drew throws in an Al Snow reference to get the win. I almost did not want to award you anything after suggesting we boo Dillon Gabriel at home. Please do not boo Dillon Gabriel at home. Drew, you win this week. What is your headline for Monday morning?
Get these rats out. Either start Shedeur Sanders or find someone who will.
Okay. A tough one this last week. Let's see if we can beat the Ravens, turn this thing around, or maybe get a fresh start. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
Go Browns.